going on, everybody?
Hello, everybody!
I'm trying something different today. It's your boy Locky.
I'm Jake. I'm back once again.
Yeah. And welcome to the Risk Rollers podcast.
Yeah.
It's
cool upcoming stuff to talk about.
a few crazy things. Just a random thing that Games Workshop decided to just sneak in without anyone noticing, with like no hype whatsoever.
Surprise! Well, they did that with the Black Templar Codex. I remember when that, because obviously I'm a primary Templar player, and it was last year sometime mid-year, and they're like, "Hey, here's Templars," and I was like, "Yes."
Yeah, 100%. So I love the fact that I'm right, because Dalton and I had many agreed cities like, oh god, this and that. I'm like, bro, Demons are next, yeah, like, calm down. So I'm pretty excited.
They say it was the year of chaos, right?
Yeah. And that was my point. That was always my point. It's like, they said the year of chaos, they have to. Yeah. And then, it's like, oh yeah, but I'm like, look, they turned a new leaf, alright? They're trying to be good.
Or bad, depending on how you want to.
Oh, well, everyone knows that chaos are actually the good guys, obviously.
Yes, chaos good.
Chaos good.
Chaos good.
But yeah, man, you haven't been on the podcast for a while.
No, I've been flat out, actually, doing all the things, and not really many of them hobbying, to be honest. But to pre-answer the next question, what have I been working on? I did start working on some Infinity models, which sort of got to like step 1 and 2 of choosing colors. And then work
gave up.
Busy. No, I didn't give up. I'm actually really excited to paint them.
Oh, cool. All right.
But work's been kicking my behind into next week, and then so I've had one day off in the past 10 or something. It's just painting has been on the back burner. But no, Infinity models are epic. I mean, I know we just said we're going to talk about 40k, whatever, but for metal, when you told me the first time we ever talked about Infinity, you're like, yeah, the models are metal. I was like, no, I don't want to, because I'm thinking like old school 40k metal models. I'm like, I don't want to hurt myself like that. But no, Infinity models are amazing, man.
Yeah, Infinity is really cool, and it's interesting because we're gonna, our second topic of this afternoon, whatever, is gonna be an interesting one. So we're going to start off talking about Demons and just what that is and how we're excited, yada, yada, whatever. And then we're going to talk about what happens when you sort of get over it. Get over hobby and either things you can do to get yourself back in, or, what you just do, how do you approach it,
Yeah, well,
all in and around that topic as a general, because that's a big one, and we, you and I are kind of both in the same boat with it, to be honest. So it's relevant to both of us, and I think we can just explore it, really.
Yeah. I think for slightly different reasons as well. Like you are very much hard onto 30k, which is something that I haven't touched, and for you it just seems to be infinitely more enjoyable. Whereas I am just feel like I'm flat out too busy to be doing 3-hour games with the boys or whatever. But like.
Well, we'll touch on it. We'll get into it.
Stay tuned.
We'll get into it later.
Listen, we'll get there.
Yeah, but before we get into it, big thanks as always to Tim from Dice Arcade for all your miniature needs and hobby needs and everything, whether it be Demons, Infinity, whatever.
40k, AOS, buy it all.
Yeah. Well, go buy it. Dice Arcade. Dice Arcade. Yeah, go to Dice Arcade. For all your MDF needs, check out Tim over at miniaturescenery.com.
Rocks, trees, buildings, go!
Ooh, trucks, the works, you name it. Oh. Big thanks to Galen at the Tray Ticker for all your bespoke dice trays.
Tray, dice, rolling everywhere.
No, I feel like that's where we should have like Fable music, a harp and stuff like bespoke. Yes, from yesteryear.
I still don't know what that word means. Every time I hear you say it, I'm like, I don't know what that is.
I don't know either. Dalton just said it once. I'm like, that makes sense. I think it means like I
assume it means nice.
Like custom, right? It's like, old and custom. I don't know. I think bespoke. I think old and custom.
Okay. Someone
anyway.
Google that. And let's not comment any
And then let us
more
know.
about
Yeah.
our literacy skills.
Big thanks to all our Patreon supporters. If you want to support the channel, be sure to check that out. There's a lot of extra content there, as well as be sure to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Rate this podcast on Spotify or wherever else that you listen to the podcast and can rate. And you want to get in touch with us, jump on the Discord and come hang and chat. And yeah, if you there's 10 spots left. Well, at time of recording, there's 10 spots left in for the Risky Rollers Open.
Out of how many?
Out of 40 on the 6th and 7th of August. Our 2-day, potential 40-player GT. It's going to be dope. I won't be there, unfortunately, but it will be dope, and you guys will love it. So yeah, that's everything to begin with. So Demons.
Yeah, surprise Demons. Not even just Demons.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Surprise Demons.
Surprise, bitch.
Wake up in the morning and what's in your land room? Demons.
Which demon would you like to be surprised by?
Oh, Slanesh, but probably it's going to be horrors.
Really though? Horrors would suck. I feel
No,
like
I'm saying you probably get horrors. You want Slanesh.
I don't know, man. I'd be pretty keen if a Plague Bearer was like, yo.
No, don't please. No poos on my floor. Fuck.
Nah, because you're okay. I should probably preface it with I'm assuming that if a demon's gonna be in your room, in your lounge room, whatever, your bed, you're gonna become that demon, right? Or you're gonna, become part of the pantheon of that one. So I was like, okay, well,
then, yeah.
And really, you say Slanesh, bro, but you don't want it.
Yeah.
They're just gonna string you up and skin you, like Hellraiser style, and that's hectic.
I guess then we go Khorne, and I'll just do my best to fight them and gain Khorne's favor or something. I don't know. Nurgle, I can't do Nurgle. I don't want to play chess with Zinch while he cheats when I'm not looking, and that sucks.
So
he'd be like, I'm the changer of ways. My pawn is a queen now, and I'm like,
yeah. No. My whole team is queens. You're like, what?
He's like, I'm changer of ways, and you're like, come on, man. It'd just be a stitch up 100%. Nurgle, you're like, oh, feel like an old wog woman with plastic on the couch. I'd be like, you sit there, don't move.
No, but the thing is, so you definitely don't want Zinch or Khorne, obviously, because Khorne, you're just dead. As soon as you wake up, it's like axe to the face, bang, there's your skull gone, right? There's no change in that. That's just you just dead.
Well, it still sounds better than playing stupid games with Zinch.
No, but then Zinch also as well. It's like horrors just pop up and they're like, oh, we're going to be friends. Oh. And then they're subtly behind the thing, they're just lighting fires and burning your apartment down. And you're like, 100%. What? And then you turn around and it's like,
I have to get
then one of them
tells me to burn things.
Yeah, 100%. And then one of them just puts it out and it's like, no, we're all good now, we're friends. And then the other one's just like, bulldozer through the bathroom. And you're like, what the hell is going on here?
Actually, it sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, but annoying, right? It's like that's I when I look at horrors,
really big children with
big gremlins.
Yeah. Feed them after midnight.
Yeah, they're big post midnight fed gremlins.
Yeah.
Horrors. And then, Slanesh, you roll the dice, right?
Yeah.
Because it could be awesome.
It could be.
It pops out and just produces titties or penises or whatever it is that you like, whatever your persuasion is, it's like, oh, let's just have fun. And then on the flip side, it's like, I'm gonna peel your skin off an inch at a time.
To reference that the book Fulgrim, where she goes that
where she paints the painting with a poo.
Nah, before that, when she has sex with the guy, but then cuts him up and puts him in the barrel.
Oh, dude, I pissed myself at both of those situations. I was like, this chick is awesome.
Wait, but that's pretty much what you expect, right? Even if you get laid, then you end up in a barrel.
Oh, yeah. It's very, when that was when I was reading that, I was like, oh, man, this chick's a fucking praying mantis, bro.
Wait, 100%.
She's like, okay, but Nurglings. Yes, you're going to die and get all gross and great, but they're just going to be, first thing you wake up, the Nurgling will be like, hugs, bro. We'll just come in and hug ya. I'll be like, let's be friends. Hug ya.
Nurglings are
will
pretty
die.
funny, actually.
They're hilarious, bro. They're just bros. They're just there to hang and like cuddle and they'll be like, "Meh, let's do dumb shit, meh."
One of my favorite things is the three Nurglings in the commissar jacket, like standing on each other's shoulders. I love it.
Oh yeah. In Lords of Silence, the Death Guard refer to them as little lords. It's hilarious. Like they're always just pottering in and around ships, and I think like if they were ever to do like a 40k TV show that's not like Eisenhorn or something, and they were going to show demons, like they'd have to show Nurgle, because you could do the whole like Marvel type humor stuff with Nurgle, where you can't really do that with any. All the others are just way too serious.
Yeah, Korn's just like, and you're dead, and Slaanesh is like, first I touch you, and then you're dead. And
well, you'd never get Slaanesh, right? Because you'd never get you'd never get rated. Because to do it justice, it's like
They're like, we can't put this.
It's next level fucked.
We can't. This is dark web only.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of did. I mean, I pull a lot of similarities between Slaanesh, like what just a normal demonette would do, with like the movie Hellraiser, the first one, and I only watched that I think like last year for the first time. Right? Okay. Well, I knew about it, whatever. Yeah. And I was like, this movie is fucked. Like, and this came out in like, I'm gonna say like 70 something.
70 something.
Yeah, bro. Like early as like Hellraiser 87. Okay, so okay, not 70 something, but 80 something, late 80s, but still.
Yeah.
But I still just like, oh my god, this is. Like, and it's got sex in it, man. It's about rape and all sorts of crazy stuff as well. I'm like, this is cooked.
Yeah, right.
So, it's like, I feel that there've been a couple 40k movies that have been released over the years. One obviously being Event Horizon, which is like the best 40k movie ever.
Have not seen.
Oh, bro, you gotta watch that.
Is it on Netflix? I'll watch it later.
Oh, it's on something. So there's an app called. Oh god, I can't remember what the app is. I gotta get him to tell me. It's there's basically an app. I think it's like screen to phone or something. But it's basically a database. So you can go. You input all your subs, and you can just search a movie, and it'll tell you what.
Oh, that's very cool.
It's so handy, bro. I don't like M does it, so like I'm like, who's on this? And she's like, it's on that. I'm like, oh, let's get that, and then or whatever. But it's super handy. Anyway, so, this
is how you end up with 45 subscription service.
Oh, 100%. Like I literally culled like 5 of them last week. I'm like, I'm spending like $100 a month on fucking TV. Anyway, that's not the point. So that movie is literally about an Imperium ship going into the warp without a Gellerfield.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, 100%. That's what it is. It's awesome. So it's got like Sam Neill, Lawrence Fishburne,
what's that other whack movie with
that chick from? Anyway, that and then Hellraiser. Hellraiser just feels like some kind of like Slaanesh possession thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a few others. Like I think you could do maybe a pass for like Spawn being kind of like. Maybe like a radical Inquisitor style, movie, potentially. I could see the merit in that one. I loved Spawn when I was a kid. That movie was so sick. Yeah, so sorry for the tangent, everybody. But Demons. So, you didn't answer the question. Which one actually would you want to appear in your lounge room?
Still
Slaanesh.
Nah, after all this, I think, because like I'm sort of referencing in my head that time when Korn found orcs in the warp, and then he put them on the planet just because they fight good, and he brings them back every day, and they just get to fight every day. Like that'd be cool. If I just got to win Korn's favor and like just fight with demons every day, and then knowing that I'm gonna come back again. I don't know. Why not?
Okay, so Korn now. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he has some sort of respect of like martial prowess, I guess. If he thinks you can fight good enough.
I mean, if you killed the bloodthirster that he just spawned in your room, which you wouldn't.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. But like, I mean, as long as you give it the old college try, he might even be like, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, then he might just turn you into one, right? Or like,
Yeah,
use
but
your
that's
soul to
alright.
become
I
one or
could get
whatever.
down with that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could definitely see you being a bloodletter for sure.
Yeah, I could get down. I mean, meh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And what about you?
Yeah, so-
Nurgle. You just play.
Well, it's just
play
Nurgle
with-
because it's. I mean,
play with
I'd
Nurgle
love
each
it.
day.
I'd rather it be Slanesh, but you just don't know.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, like Slanesh Pleasure House, like orgies, like hell's yes.
Yeah, like
go,
sign me up, but then like.
100, but you just don't know.
Yeah.
It's like with Drakari as well. Like you just, it's just the gamble's not worth it. We're like, you know, Nurgle, like life's gonna be life
because you don't
as a
feel
Nurgle.
pain or anything, right? Like you just.
Nah, you don't feel shit. I mean, but that's also kind of the gamble as well, I guess. Potentially, do you actually feel anything ever?
Yeah.
Which you never really explicitly say, but like, what's worse, being a chump in the Imperium or being a plague bearer?
I definitely reckon Chaos has got it better off as a whole. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, because if you have enough drive and aspiration,
they love you.
You can sort of get yourself places. Whereas in the Imperium, like, you read it all the time. Like, if you're not of noble birth, you're still not going to be a captain of a ship because the nobles will just not give you that rank, even if you're the best, you know, best military mind, you know, within your battalion or whatever. You still don't get the promotion because you're not noble birth. Whereas, like, in Chaos, if you're the best, the gods will give it to you. You have that.
Or one of them will, yeah.
Yeah, you have that potential where if you are really that cunning, if you're really that good, if you're really ready to do what your allies or enemies won't, you will get rewarded.
If you take your mindset away from the big picture, it's awesome. Like if you can kind of reconcile with yourself that you're just being manipulated. Yeah. Like just say you're a killer. You're like you're top tier at whatever it is the fuck that you do, right? Whatever it is. You know, just string up people and rape them, whatever. And yeah, then it makes total sense. And overall, like it does just make way more sense. Whether you're a space marine, whether you're like just a trooper, whether you're a fleet commander or I mean, I think if you're a pleb, you're a pleb. Like either way, like they're just going to see you as a pleb as just like, well, I'm just going to, you know, eat your soul or whatever. Yeah, but I think if you're something of value on either side, right? You take the equivalent, then yeah, chaos all the way. It's just like, and that's again like why I kind of gravitate towards a little bit more of Nurgle, because there's kind of like it's not just war. There's elements of just existing is okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Because I mean, I don't really read much of Nurgle, so I don't, you know the stories about them just kicking about and doing, you know, Nurgle raves or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess Slanesh is kind of like that too, right? Because it's about excesses, about pleasures.
Yeah.
Well, it's just excesses, so it's in abundance of. So, I mean,
I'll get to the fight in a minute after I jerk off for the 800th time today. I'll be at the battle when I'm there.
And then you're there, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do both. God,
running around stabbing people and jerking off at the same time.
That's hilarious.
That's definitely happened in the States somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what's the Slanesh thing? It's Nurgle's garden. It's the maze.
No,
the throne, and then palace. Slanesh's palace, right? Is it palace?
Yeah, because I don't know. Maze is Tzeentch. Throne is
Maze
Khorne.
is Tzeentch. Throne is Khorne. The garden is Nurgle, and then the palace is. See, it's weird. I wish that one was a bit more like
fleshed out.
No, just kind of more insinuating. I guess maybe a palace does insinuate kind of.
It does because
opulence or just too much of just
anything, you sort of imagine it in your head, and it's like, you know,
like St. Paul's Cathedral.
Yeah, just heck, right?
He's just like, what the hell? Like, seriously, people are like, how poor? And you're like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna build me one of these.
Yeah, you just imagine when this shit was built, and like people were just like couldn't even have food to like survive. Just nothing much has changed. But still, you're just like, what? This is so fucked.
But when you think about that logically, like, from that point of view, right? The other one that gets me that I saw the other day was it Michelangelo that painted the people on the roof, and they're all naked and whatever.
Yeah, the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah. So on the flip side of that, someone asked him to, like, imagine if it was like someone asked him to paint it, and he's like, yeah, but I'm gonna paint a bunch of dicks. He's lying there painting this thing on the roof.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Like it's famous. It's famous now, and like that was the art style. But imagine if just in his head he was like, oh, I'm just gonna paint naked people on the roof. Like he's just sitting there, just pissed as just painting naked people.
I mean, he probably was pissed at
100%.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing is the whole naked thing comes from like the Greek and Roman thing to do with drawing the gods naked and shit and whatever. It's like the Spartans. They used to prepare for battle. Before they'd go to war, they'd comb their long hair and wrestle naked and shit. Like, that's what they did.
Yeah, it's great. I'm so
to
about
freak
it.
people out. I mean, kinda, right? Like, if you can be as agile as possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to tackle someone that's covered in baby oil.
Yes! And has got their massive, probably swinging dong all over the place. Yeah. It's like, get it away from me!
Yeah. And then they've got a spear as well, but like, trying to... Because 99% of combat's going to end up in, like, that real close quarter, right? And if they're all covered in baby oil, like, it's like trying to... Imagine how hard it would be to tackle one of them.
I mean, I think if you tackle them with your sword or your spear...
Yeah, but, like...
Slide off.
Yeah, I know. It's going to, like, sword or spear... Blade is blade, but, like... Any instance where you're trying to grapple with someone covered in baby oil and you can't get that weapon... Stuffed. Like, it'd be such a frustrating experience. You'd be like, oh, it's so slippery.
I don't know if I don't think the baby oil thing's legit, but...
Nah, but it's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're fighting in the desert, then it's like the worst idea in the world. Because then you just become like...
you get a mad tan.
No, because you're just covered in sand. Then you just become like a polka dot person or... You like fairy bread, but with dirt. And then it's grainy. It's the worst thing ever. Horrible.
Don't like sand. It gets everywhere. Demons.
So yeah. So obviously we don't have much info. The cover art's cool. So if you guys are listening along in front of your computer, if you just go to Warcom, it should be the first article. It was on the 11th of July, 2 days ago.
The random battle sister of battle in the front.
Yeah, it's weird. Why is she facing away?
Because
because they want to see her getting strangled by the tentacle. Oh, bro, tentacle porn. I'm sure Major Kill's just like frothing it right now. Tentacle. I do like the fact there's no greater demons in the cover.
Yeah.
Like, I like how it's just one of each, lesser demon. I think that's kind of cool.
And the horror is, like, so... It's so a gremlin.
It's less cartoony like the actual lame models.
Yeah.
And legit scary like they are, like you imagine that they would be.
Yeah, but it also, like, you just get those mad gremlin vibes.
Yeah, but on roids, yeah?
Yeah.
He's a roided gremlin. Can check his biceps. It's just like...
Today we do bicep. Tomorrow we kill sisters.
Yes, he so has like some kind of Eastern European accent.
Today bicep. Tomorrow kill nuns. It's a good one.
Actually, you know what, Korn? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased because of all the audiobooks with Khan and like the World Eaters, but because they're like a Polish accent or whatever, I always now just associate Korn with like Eastern European or Russian or whatever.
That was just my go-to accent because it's one that I can half do. I didn't think about that at all.
No, I know, but now that you've done it, like I'm kind of like, what nationality would each?
Wait, so I've always thought like Drakari would sound like sort of Transylvania.
Yeah, like Romanian or something. Yeah, for sure.
And then when Cold Open Stories didn't give them that accent, I was like, nah. I just stopped listening.
Yeah, that's actually sick. That's actually really cool. I
Because-
never thought of
Because
that.
you think Dracula and you think that aesthetic, and then it transfers
Yeah.
over to Drakari, and that's in
For
my
sure.
head. I was like, this is what I want the voice actors for the Cold Open Stories, the Drakari episode to be. And when they weren't, I was
Yeah.
like, I'm going home.
Yeah, I imagine Nurgle is like full, like hectic German.
Nah, he's just like old.
Nah.
Like Mike Tyson. Sounds like Mike Tyson. 100%.
It's like, hello, or whatever. It's like little
100%
baby kid's voice.
Nurgle's-
You reckon?
Yeah, because Nurgle like is so chill, but like so dangerous, like Mike Tyson, or like Mike Tyson now, not like Mike Tyson before.
Yeah,
And like he just gets all worldly and on tangents and shit.
Oh yeah, like randomly just like walks off in the middle of okay,
Yeah.
I can get
Yeah.
that. So all of Nurgle sounds. So you mean Nurgle the actual god, or are you talking like just the demons?
No, like anyone. So like a greater demon that's like got Nurgle speaking through it sounds like Mike Tyson, 100%.
So a great unclean one, literally sounds like Mike Tyson. That is hilarious.
And you don't know, you don't know
and
if
it's
you
like
say
just-
the wrong thing, it's just gonna clean you up, just like that.
I was just flopping on the battlefield like, hey guys. Yeah, okay. Alright. Yeah, I'm down with that. That makes sense. Cool. Alright. Well, actually, no, Corn would be...
Nah. Corn's...
Nah.
Nah.
Oh, no, German would be Slanesh, right? Obviously. The pawn, right?
Wow, okay. Sorry, Oblerone. Oh wait, no, he's...
What? No, he's Swedish.
but he lives in
dude,
Germany.
isn't he? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's so mean. You fucking asshole. Well, you know, because I mean, anyone who's born in like the 80s and 90s, there's like a whole period when the birth of the internet was like German porn, blah,
Oh,
exactly,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know. I'm not prescribed to the idea. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just saying. Like, I don't know. I think this is an interesting exercise.
Yeah.
I mean, Zinch. I reckon
Zinch
Zinch is no accent.
no.
It's all of them at once, right? And it's like shudders. So it's like the echo. I imagine it's like, you know, these are those movies that you have that like they do the demon voice like really well, and it's like that whole
The voice inside the voice inside the voice with the...
inside the voice. Yeah, like the quad voice,
I
and
was
it's
just gonna
like
say it probably sounds like
I
Stephen
love that.
Hawking.
No, that's funny. It wouldn't be funny. It would be like Zinch's voice would literally be like half the time you'd be like, I don't know what you're fucking saying. So it's like the first two lines of like the voice. It's like a male and female voice that echo each other. But then the second two, then like the third and the fourth one are just saying something completely fucking different. And you're like, what? So it's like two things or three things are being said at the same time. You're like, oh my god, I can't even hear you.
And then
But
in
you
the end,
can?
and then in the end, it's like, why weren't you listening?
Passive aggressive Karen. It's a Karen.
Oh man, wait, 100
Passive aggressive Karen. 100%. Right.
100%. It's like, excuse me, you weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
Now I have to eat your soul.
It's like, oh my god, I'm not gonna redo it. I'm not gonna redo it, guys. Okay, we've been here before. All right, you're just gonna have to pick up where we just figure it out, and your soul's gone. Like,
And this is how you end up with the flesh change.
yeah, 100%, and it would make no sense because you ask the double. Do like imagine do the childish things like, what you remember at primary school? You'd be like, I'm gonna do it really badly, but be like, Liam Gay Boy says what? And you'd be like, what? I'd be like, oh, got you, motherfucker, man.
Wait, he just talks real fast all the time.
Real fast, but then like, and then at the like was saying double two different things at the exact same time that are echoed at each other into your ears. Like one's in one ear, one's in the other. So you're like, brain melt. and then at the end of it, it's always like, if you want demon possession, say what? And you're like, what? I'm like, ha, got you, bitch. And you're like, ah. But like in super passive aggressive tone the whole fucking time.
New demon host says what?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So we've got two.
Yeah.
We've got three.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I like Korn being like kind of Russian.
No, Korn is like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that's Austrian, bro. It's Austrian, German, whatever. It's all kind of.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, get to the battlefield.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think, like, yeah, the whole. Yeah, because German's so crass and, like, as in the language is just so aggressive and
just
rah.
naturally aggressive. And can we compress 8 words into one? Yes, let's do it.
Yes. Yeah. And you're like, awesome. Cool. I know we keep tangenting. We haven't even talked about the book yet. I mean, we don't have much, but I think this is a fun experiment.
This is...
What's Bella? Wait, what's... Because I'm looking at the picture. Bellacor's voice. Because he was like a dude, right? Was he a person? Pretty sure he was a person. And then... Because he's the first demon prince. Demon princes are people or beings that then get
they become,
injected with they get penetrated with demon powers, right?
Yeah.
And he's the first demon prince, and like he, is at godlike level of power in the law. So, and it's weird because he crosses over, like he exists in fantasy and he exists in AOS or whatever, and he exists in 40k, which I think is super cool. And I really do wish I used to be. I know I'm tangenting again. I used to be against the idea of those two worlds being together, but actually after listening and reading the actual theories, I'm like, it's actually pretty cool. I would be not against them being kind of merged.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, not the point. Yeah, Bellacor's voice. Because it has to be something kind of old world, right? Because he was a human. He was a person.
Well,
right?
because he'd be really old, I want to say, like, maybe the old dude with the walking frame from Family Guy.
Again, too funny. I feel like he'd have to be legit.
Nah, yeah, okay.
Are we thinking like, I don't know, like just straight up Roman, right? Or like Mesopotamian or some shit.
Doesn't speak the modern tongue, just only speaks in ancient languages.
Oh, dude, that would be cool.
Like,
that would actually be awesome.
He's so old, he just never bothered to learn. Like, if you don't speak Mesopotamian or like
Aramaic and shit,
if you don't speak fluent Latin, like not High Gothic, but if you don't speak fluent Latin,
legit Latin,
he's like, I'm just gonna kill you. Like,
yeah, that is awesome.
This is my language, and like, yeah, he sounds like Roman or something,
It'd be so funny too if like none of the demons understood that shit. So every time he goes to a battle, he just picks one of the old ancient languages. Like, again, I don't know, it's all relative, right? But we're talking ancient for human time. And then, Korn's just like, what the fuck is he saying? And they're like,
no, well, the four gods would.
Like holds his flaming sword and no, but I mean, like the lesser demons and shit might not, right? That's the big ones might, but then the little ones are just like, point, like grabs the sword and is like points that way, like over there. Is that we go? And he says like, make some nod, like, you're like, oh, okay.
Then he just claps. Over there. He just claps any demon that doesn't understand. That's why they're so scared of him.
yeah, bad.
Because
portal.
Because he's screaming orders in Latin, and then anyone who doesn't go the right direction, he just hacks them up.
Yeah, 100%.
That's why they're so scared of Be'lakor, because they're like, he's so strong and powerful, but if we just go the wrong way or whatever, he's just gonna clap us like into next week.
Yeah, and then I imagine all the demons, like the lessers and even the greaters that have pissed off the main four gods that are in the bad books, get sent to support Be'lakor.
Yeah, 100%.
So like, it's a roll the dice, motherfucker. Are you gonna go back to the warp or are you gonna die forever?
Yeah. He just doesn't speak. He doesn't speak any known language. He just speaks languages from like when he was a human that he knew. And that such an ego, like that. Even such an ego on him, he never bothered to learn modern languages.
I even as like a legit law point, that is really cool.
Yeah,
like it's just really cool in terms of creating a complex character that what his psyche I guess would be. Which is just, you're not going to figure that out in the next 5 minutes. No. But you could really go to town in writing Be'lakor. You know, if you write a whole, series of books about him as a person becoming, um, understanding that there is something outside of, i.e. the supernatural.
Well, then you get this cool...
then aligning with them, and you see, you could really go down this fucking rabbit hole of this dude's twisted brain of kind of very much like Dante's Inferno style, like,
but even
ridiculousness.
Even from a language point of view, you get a really cool sort of method of communication which you see in Eisenhorn with Glossia, where it's never translated for you, but there's this language that the more you read the books, the more you understand the character.
You understand it, yeah, for sure. So, even the language itself. There's sometimes when by the third book, you kind of like
you
kind of get it. You get the gist anyway.
Yeah.
It's sort of like...
So you could do the same thing with Be'lakor, where he's thinking in this language, whether it be like whatever language it was from back then, that he lived when he was human, and as the books go on, you sort of understand. Like, you're reading words that you don't know, but like by the end of Eisenhorn, you know basically what Glossia is.
Yeah. Yeah, like Thorn. Like, obviously you know who Thorn and what's Dingo's name? What's Ravenor's bloody title? Anyway, doesn't matter. You get the gist of it. Like Thorn, which is Aegis, parameter. You're like, oh, okay, we need to do some kind of shield maneuver, or like something needs to die, or whatever. So it's cool. I feel like I've lost you. Okay, we have technical difficulties.
No, I'm here.
Oh, you are there. Oh, okay. Jesus, all right. You're just really quiet.
I was quiet for like 2 seconds.
Oh, okay. It was weird. Yeah, I think that would be... And it'd be really cool as well for them to explore that in terms of... you could literally have him speaking legit Latin. Or like, maybe not pick a full dead language like Aramaic or whatever. Yeah. But like...
Hey guys, we're just going to
write... something that is...
But then again, it's easier to pick a full dead language because it's like, well, am I wrong? Can you prove it? No.
But I mean, it wouldn't be all the time.
No, right?
No. Because it'd be these kinds of things of...
It'd be his internal monologue.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I reckon you could literally write a whole origin story series where, like, 80% of the book is kind of in his mind, which is, him either battling with, like, the gods or, having games with them, or kind of like how the Siege of Terror stuff, there's periods between the Emperor and Horus talking, and they're obviously talking in the warp, but it's described as a physical space, and you could do like a lot of it like that, and it would just creative freedom would just be nuts with that. Like it's exploring that character that's no one's. I mean, look, there might be stuff explored about Be'lakor. I don't know. It could be, everyone would be like, Loki, he's already got shit written for him. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I haven't read it, so fuck off.
Yeah, that's right. And my idea's better.
Yeah, our idea is way better. Our idea is actually awesome. So just quickly before we cut to a break, they have given us a little bit of info on the book itself, which is quite surprising. Even in the photo, it looks hefty. They do say it's 152 pages, which is massive. I'm pretty sure.
I'm literally running now to get the Space Marine Codex to see how big it is, because the Space Marine Codex is by the standard of which all codexes are measured in volume.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's roughly around the Space Marine Codex.
Space Marine Codex is 208 pages. So
yeah, the compendium's 211 as well. So it's
152
probably
is a very substantial book.
Yeah, it'll be the third biggest book, I think, next to the Eldari.
Yeah, that
Eldar Space
massive.
Marines, and then which is really cool. So I mean, with that, I look at
Well, actually, sorry, how big is a Chaos book? Because I haven't.
The Chaos book is big as well. Like, actually, it's actually not that big because NIDS is 125, and NIDS is substantial. So I imagine there's going to be a lot of lore in it, to be honest. And then, but at the same time, if you scroll further down, they do state that there's 56 data sheets.
That's a lot,
which is fucking heaps. Split between the 4 Chaos Gods and Be'lakor with his very own. Oh, that's why. The Army of Renown is inside the book.
All right.
And Be'lakor with his very own Army of Renown. So obviously I imagine they've probably adjusted that to fit in with the actual book. And this was very indicative of the thoughts when the Army of Renown did come out. That they were like, a lot of this stuff doesn't make sense because it seems like keywords and functionality systems of updated rules for demons hadn't been released yet. And that was kind of the competitive, or just the general consensus on the reviews on that anyway. So that's good to see. And then alongside 25 warlord traits, which is crazy.
Yeah.
24 relics and 36 stratagems. 36 stratagems I'm pretty sure is standard. I think that's just going to be your 4 pages.
Yeah.
Maybe 5. And a profane slate of psychic powers for all.
I mean, in Nephilim, what good is 24 relics and 24 warlord traits? But, you know.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, now it's,
you're spoiled
you have to play Nephilim.
You're spoiled for choice and only have 6 AP.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. So I imagine, this is just me speculating, but you're going to have 4 for each. And then... Sorry, you're going to have 5 for each.
And then 4 for undivided.
No. So you'll have, because it's 25 warlord traits, right? So you'll have 5. I reckon you'll have 5 for each pantheon. So you'll have 5 undivided, and then 5 for the 4 gods.
Yeah.
Or something like 4 for each, and then 5 generic, or something,
yeah.
Some shit like that. But yeah, so that's all we have on it so far. Obviously, they haven't given us any details on new models. I imagine there probably is going to be. They've put the Juggernaut on the cover, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see
it looks good as well in the artwork. Like, not that represents the model, but that artwork's fucking cool.
Yeah, the artwork is cool. I wouldn't be surprised if you see an updated Juggernaut model and a few of the demon characters that are just old as shit, like Epididymis and like the Poxbringer, and a few of the Slanesh stuff's relatively recent. I think that pretty much is like majority of the Khorne line. Pretty sure there is a new Bloodthirster, right? Like, or there was one teased or something.
All right, hang on. Elephant in the room, Angron.
Oh yeah, I wanted to be keen, bro. Like, it's so annoying because like, and I'm gonna preface the opinion of most people. And look, I don't care. Like, it's still cool. I think it'll make or break depending on his rules, obviously. And what they kind of do to fluff that up.
Yeah.
I think he's just way too much like a Bloodthirster.
Yeah.
And that's been kind of the internet's kind of turned around and gone, Magnus, which is the derpiest model ever, doesn't look like a greater demon, a changer of fate. All right. Mortarion looks like Mortarion. Doesn't look anything like a great and clear one. So why the fuck does Angron look like a Bloodthirster? Now, I know you're gonna be like, oh, but Locky in the lore. Yeah, so in the lore, he kind of does more or less become one.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing. He's called the Red Angel for a reason, and he there is a theory as well that in the lore they're going to shift the fight between Carbander and Sanguinius. And this is a theory that I actually had. Well, I got confused, funnily enough. So I actually thought the battle back when I was getting back into 30k and everything and starting to read the heresy books. I actually thought that's how sort of Angron and the World Eaters kind of fizzled out in the siege. Was that Sanguinius kind of defeats, not kills proper, but more or less defeats
banishes
Angron, and banishes him or whatever.
But he kills Carbander, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, so the theory is, and this is just the community theory, is that's going to get rectified. Or it's going to get, retconned, changed to be Angron. Which will then fit in with the justification of the previous visualizations of him being kind of like bloodthirstery and all this shit, right?
Yeah, right.
So, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I don't think it's bad. I think it's kind of cool. I don't know why he has a tail. Bloodthirsters don't have tails. Doesn't really make sense. What's the sword? Again, I'm not too familiar with the World Eater lore. I'm only just kind of getting into it now with 30k and that. So I don't know what the sword's for. I just wish there was a little bit more of the kind of human marine-y person there rather than because when literally I first saw that, everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! This leak," and I'm like, "Is that just a new Bloodthirster model?" Like that was my instant with the leak, right? So
I
not
was
the
like,
legit.
"Oh, new Bloodthirster," and then I was like, "Oh, that's Angron."
And then I was like, "Oh wait, that looks a bit different."
Yeah, like the hair gave it away for me.
I couldn't even see it from that leak. I was like, "Oh, why is he holding a sword and an axe?" I'm like, "That looks a bit different." And then I'm like, okay." I'm like, "That maybe is that the Angron model?" I was like, "Oh god, if that's the Angron model, that sucks." I think if when I get it and when I paint it, I'm just gonna cut the tail off because I think the tail is fucking lame. But
I think
and I might change the wings. I'm not the biggest fan of the wings. I kind of like the normal Bloodthirster wings a little bit better. They got like they're a bit more veiny.
the gargoyle-esque wings.
Yeah, where these ones they just feel a bit. I don't know. Yeah, it's that cartoon aesthetic. I wish it was a bit more of the kind of. I don't know. I don't really know. All I know is I don't hate it. I don't love it. I understand why people hate it, and I understand why people love it.
Yeah.
Like I'm legit, and it's like look, there's not even an opinion, because it's literally in the middle, and it kind of is. I'm just sort of like, eh.
Yeah, like
I think I'll get excited when I see the rules.
yeah, I'm very much the same. I'm like, I don't like it, but I sort of want to use bits of it to make my own.
Yeah.
Like I want the head.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the arms with the big shoulders and like the pauldrons with the World Eater symbol. But then I sort of want to like slap the. How can I describe this? Oh jeez, Jesus, excuse me. Slap the. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Slap the wings on like the body of Broly, and then put like give it a more human aesthetic.
Yeah.
Just like this massive jacked unit, and then but still have him red. I don't know. I just want him to not to represent a Primarch a little bit more.
I think it's the head, man.
I like
like
the
I'm
head.
literally looking at it now. I think if you had a human head, there was just a massive human head, right? Kept everything else the same. I reckon you might have there might be a quelling of that because you're right. Like the World Eater armor is very armored, which is like check, very human, less like a Bloodthirster. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the wings. I wish the wings were more, like the Bloodthirster wings.
Yeah.
And then get rid of the tail. But it's that head. I think I love the, the nails and everything that look amazing. But I think that's what throws it is that he's got this very, very demon style head where none of the others have that. They all have the kind of the size and the assistance or the affiliation with their god's size, i.e. Mortarian's kind of grossness in parts, but they're not really. But they're all kind of infatuated with size and they look epic and da 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 da. But then this one's just got a demon head. It would be like if Magnus had like a bird head, right? Or if Mortarian's head was like. Yeah, if Mortarian's head was like a Cyclopean, like it just wouldn't make any sense, and that's why I agree. That's why I think throws it. Now looking at it, yeah. But no, let us know. Let us know in the comments what you think about the Angron model. Because
I wish I was Photoshop capable to be able to chuck like a human head on that body and just see how much like it changes the aesthetics from a visual point of view.
You'd need to. It'd be a You'd need to grab the 30k one.
Yeah.
Put that in there, and then just make his skin tone red as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Looking at it now, and then I mean, I think the thing that throws the wings is that he's got biceps in his wings.
Yeah.
Like
that was I found real strange too, like that, and that bicep is bulging, bro. Like that is
he's shredded for Stez.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
He shredded all summer for Stez, and now Stez has just been cancelled, and this is his opinion of it.
For people who don't know what Stez is, it's Stereosonic, which is a festival in Australia.
Was
or, in Melbourne. Was. And it was hilarious. I used to love going to that festival. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll
Like
see. Anyway, let
his
us.
arms are actually smaller than his wing biceps.
Yeah, no, I was literally just thinking that,
Yeah.
especially when you get that real good side angle, like his wing
Yeah.
biceps are crazy, and yeah, the tail's weird. I don't get it. I don't get why he has a tail.
Yeah. I get it.
And it's weird because I look at this and I go, right, how are they going to make the rules for this thing crazy without being stupid?
Yeah. Like, surely it's going
And
to
I mean,
spit fire or something.
no, I mean more in terms of like, okay, T9, 3 damage a phase. But I mean, like, his weapons, like, you know how absolutely retarded it would be if you roll up with this model on the table and you attack someone and you're like, oh, my blade guard's 4-up invulnerable save just stops it. You're like, fuck off, it does. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, you'd be like, no. So I hope there's something like insta-death or, just, you're forced to take... No invulnerable saves can be made. It's armor save only or whatever.
Yeah. And then armor of contempt, you still get a 6-up on a Terminator.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be against that though. At least you still, from a gameplay point, you have to have something, right? You can't just be like, oh, you just die. That's just like, what's the point of playing? But that is better than just like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna use my 3-up, my 1-turn 3-up to, have my Grandmaster just block. No, you're not. I'm sorry, you'd fucking fuck off. So no. But again, we'll see. We'll leaving it on there. We'll be back after hearing a few words from Tim.
DiceArcade.com.au. All the biggest brands of miniatures and wargaming. Free postage over $250.
Thanks for that, Tim. And we're back.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. I just wanted to come back with strength and power.
Yeah, right. So we wanted to talk about
getting over it.
Being in a bit of
getting over it. And I thought I was going to struggle to talk about this, but I'm going to struggle to paraphrase, I think.
Okay.
So if I'm going to touch on this, I think let's talk about as adults who enjoy this hobby. You have things that get in the way of, hanging out with the boys and playing 40k, right? Like, you might have kids. You might have... work might just kick your ass, right? And or the other one that sort of gets you is if you're a bit like me, or a bit like... I feel like a lot of people in the hobby right now, is that I think it's great the way that Games Workshop has stepped up their game and is releasing more content more fast. Like the same way you would patch a computer game, right?
Yeah.
I think it's great, but I think that the monetary requirement to keep up to that is astounding for most people. Like, for me, I'm just like, I want to play Nephilim, but, time, when the patches are that quick, it's very hard to find the time for me as an adult to go, okay, what are the new rule sets? What's this new book that I need? Blah, 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 blah. I think as much as our first game of Nephilim that we had, I thought it was great. I had a lot of fun, and you were pleasantly surprised as well.
Yeah.
But at the rate that it's going, the big scale games between all my other life stuff going on at the moment just makes it feel a little bit hard to keep up with, and it is forcing a little bit of disinterest in it for me.
From a playing point or from a hobby point?
From a playing point, and this is where I'm getting into a hobby point. Like I started off this podcast talking about how I sort of touched on my Infinity models, and I was like, you know what? Because I'm getting my ass kicked for time. I want to dial it back. I want to play more Kill Team. I want to learn to play Infinity. I would love to play Necromunda with someone. And
why wouldn't you come play Heresy though then?
Because I don't have those things handy. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, that's true. You have all the other
I have all the other things. I don't have Heresy handy. But that sort of happens at like 500 to 1,000 points, right? Like, or it can anyway.
No. It can, yeah. It's actually the opposite. The games are way bigger.
Yeah, see, that
starts at 2,000 and then works its way up to 4,000.
Yeah, that's the exact opposite of what I want in my current state. But
yeah.
I think as a topic as a whole is if you're finding yourself disenchanted with 40k, for example, but still know that in you love the hobby, you want to paint a couple models, you want to, keep in touch, read a book, before you go to bed, like I do. I'm reading the first Night Lords book in the trilogy. I've ordered the omnibus. It's coming. It's been awesome. I still want to be involved.
Yeah, Void Reaper or whatever. Yeah, talking.
Yeah. The trilogy with Talos and.
Yeah, Talos. Oh god, so
yeah.
good.
So I'm reading the first one, but I only had the first one, and then I've ordered the omnibus because the guy was selling it on Marketplace for like $10.
Oh, dude, I saw that. I was gonna buy that.
I got it
straight up. Yeah, I was gonna buy that. I was like, oh yeah, I should buy that.
As soon as I saw it, I bought that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, like I still want to be in touch. I still want to, play games, roll dice, because it's have a couple drinks. It's fun, but I think for anyone who's struggling with that time frame, stop. I've found something that's helped me is stop worrying about playing 40k. Pick up your favorite squad from your favorite army and go learn to play Kill Team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Scale back your focus so that your hobby doesn't feel like a chore.
Yeah.
So that you're still involved, still doing things you want, still seeing friends, still, painting models, but you're focused on one squad or like.
Yeah.
And I think, that's something for me that is sort of helping me remain involved while I don't have the time to be playing games of 40k.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me of like managing expectations or altering your expectations by a process of shifting the goalposts.
Yeah.
So, instead of being like, oh, I need to paint these, this Maliceptor and all these like bits of things to be relevant and competitive, or to like, even for whatever reason, that's a big goalpost. That's a big commitment. That's a high expectation on yourself. Yeah. So then you can kind of go, all right, well, my goalpost is to learn to play Kill Team, but the expectation of that is only a squad. Yeah. So then it all becomes a lot more manageable.
And even more so if you already had a 40k army. Or like...
Yeah, well, you don't even have to do anything.
You don't have to do anything. You just have to read the rules and play with a friend. And, we don't know the rules that well. We've played a game in an hour-ish.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can... look, there are ways to do it too. Like, if you want to learn a game system, just pick the easiest armies to play. Like, it's like if we were going to give advice to anyone, go play 40k. Don't try and play Sisters or Admech.
Yeah.
Like, that's just dumb. All right?
Or GSC.
So things like that. Like, if you're going to play Kill Team, like, okay, maybe you go play... Tyranids are pretty easy. Custodians are pretty easy.
Death Guard pretty easy. Death Guard is sick.
Like, the Death Guard are awesome and they're easy. Yeah. Like, it's just... So... Things like that, changing your attitude towards it can also help heaps. And new game systems, I reckon, can be the best. We've been big advocates for Infinity, and it's obviously taken a back seat for quite a while now because of just us being pushing 40k and now 30k, and 30k is going to take an equal front seat with 40k because of just how good it is.
And the other thing on that as well is with the release, with the speed up of release of content done by Games Workshop, in order for us as a group to cover that, it just has to be a focus.
Yeah,
because they just have content coming wildly fast,
and it's crazy. Like even for us. That are on it every day, it's crazy. Like, thank God we have, 5,000 points of Demons.
Yeah. You have 5,000?
Literally. Yeah.
I knew it was a lot, but 5,000, wow.
Yeah. Really, when you break it all down, with all the gods and everything, we have like 6. Oh no, it might be 4,000. Sorry, because I always get confused. We actually don't have a law to change. Anyway, not the point. Not having to kind of invest time in that, and like I'm going to be playing Demons, which I'm really excited. Like that's going to be definitely one of the ones that I kind of go into for sure. But it's a lot, like I'm relearning 3rd and 7th edition of Heresy, and it's annoying because actually, funnily enough, I've been struggling to find games of that because not many people in our Discord are playing 30k.
Yeah,
there's literally like six of us that are into it.
There's a lot of traction for people, but I think a lot of people are in my boat. Like, if I had the models, even if I was like playing,
they're so invested in 40k that it's hard to pivot and shift because the game's not the same, and that's the biggest thing. Like every night I've got both 400-page books out, reading through keywords and reading through not only so I can be proficient on the channel, and and there's going to be an element of growing pains with that for sure. Dalton has much more experience due to playing through 7th and 6th edition, yada yada yada.
So he's got a certain level of familiarity from previous system.
But it's a lot of work, man. It is a lot of work, and you got to want to do it. And like knowing your own pitfalls is good. Like for me, for example, like aside from lately with the Heresy, which my enthusiasm is there, I've learned since painting 2,000 points of, well, more 4,000 points of Tyranids, and then 5,000 points of Death Guard, and then painting whatever it is that you keep going through and painting, and following that hype. I've learnt for me, and this may work for you, may not, but if you're excited about something, follow it. Drop whatever it is. Like if and obviously within reason. Like, so obviously don't try not to feed the whole Games Workshop FOMO thing. But in terms of like, if you were on the fence, say for example you're playing Sisters, right? You're playing Sisters and you're kind of like, oh, I'm struggling to adapt to Nephilim or whatever it is. And these demon things, like, I always wanted to play Demons, and you're seeing the rules that are coming out and you're just getting excited. Do that. Don't be like, oh nah, I committed to my Sisters, I need to finish it. Like, fuck that. No, like that is what's gonna cause you to burn out and potentially give it up and whatever. And even if, which I think is relevant to you, Icon, and to me a bit as well, like partially with parts of 40k. If you're just like, I want a break of all of it, take that break. Like yesterday morning, I woke up, turned the TV on. My son's gone crazy. I'm like, all right, what's on? I'm like, we're not watching YouTube. Bang. And I see Indigo League. I'm like, hell's fucking yeah, we're watching Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
All 50. Yeah. All 52 episodes, right? Put it on. And then within the first 5 minutes of the first episode, I downloaded an emulator. I'm like, I'm playing Silver for the whole day. And I played Pokemon Silver the whole day. I was like, man, I had models to build. I had 30k to paint. I was like, nah, I am literally playing. And I have literally been playing Pokemon Silver on my phone for the past like 4 days. For the past like 2 days.
Amazing.
And that gives you that kind of reset, right? Or it can give you the reset. It could be go watch movies, go read books that aren't 40k. Like I've been reading a lot of history, a lot of ancient history to do with Rome, realizing how much Warhammer stole from Roman history is hilarious.
Just copy paste, Control C, Control V.
Literally copy paste,
Control
bro.
C, Control
like
V,
we're talking
some names.
Yeah, not even changed names, bro. They changed
Kato
surnames,
Sicarius
leave first
of
names.
The Ultramarine.
It's like what?
Yeah,
hilarious. I actually learnt today, funnily enough, it's a bit of a tangent, but that the name Candace comes from the Kush Empire, so like the African Empire, part of the African Empire during some period of
time,
the Roman whatever ages ago, like 700 BC. It was a title for female queens that would kind of be like advisories and heads of state, kind of a bit more complicated than that, but I'm not going to get into it. That were called some version of like Candida or Candide something that then became the name Candace.
Yeah, right.
How cool is that?
Yeah, I mean,
because it doesn't seem like an African name.
I couldn't even tell you an African name like now if you asked me. So,
Matumbo.
huh? What?
I don't know.
Lucky.
You could pick any Dutch name, and you'd be like, "That's South African, right?"
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
I mean, I should know. I'm from my family and everything.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, he's gonna comment on this, and I'm not.
Dude, they're all white names because
I mean,
we're not like 2,000 years old. So like all it is English and Dutch names because they were the people that colonized
mate,
it.
his name's Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. Like even my grandparents and my grandparents' grandparents were still like that's only 4 generations, right? So it's it's not that long. That's not 4 to 1500, 1600s or whatever when they first got there. So anyway, my point is if you're feeling something pulling you towards a certain way, and it's purely just from a hobby point, just follow it. And obviously don't let it get excessive. So
unless you're modeling
if you feel
then
then go nuts. But you don't want to just give up a hobby, or and maybe that is the thing you want to do. You want to give up, whatever. That's fine. But do it for a period, then come back, and just I do this float in and out all the time.
Yeah.
Where I'll like to be honest, I've pretty much with risky rollers and everything else. I can't even after the 4,500 points of heresy that I have. Once that's painted. I'm literally, and aside from tyrannies here and there, I'm hanging up painting entirely because I don't have the time.
Yeah, so I actually
don't.
sort of have the drive. Like all this week, I've been wanting to paint, and all this week, I sort of have already made commitments to other things. But in my headspace, like Saturday sometime, I feel like probably in the evening, I feel like I really want to paint something. But that's after having not even intentionally stepped away, but unintentionally just gotten busy and stepped away. And that forced break is good. Because I started painting those Infinity models, and honestly, I'm not really happy with either of them. But it gave me the scope to know how I do want to do it. And
dude, if you ever want to play Infinity, like 100%, just like we'll play.
Yeah, I mean, I want to learn
because me too. Like I think Dalton and I played one game and then half of another. It's pretty hard. Like it's much more of a 7th edition style, kind of very more granular, like Heresy. But it's just better and tighter and just generic but yeah, I'd say one of the first things to other people would be go explore other games, or like Hammer and Bolter, Kill Team, Warcry. I would probably, if you do want to change, just steer clear of Games Workshop, because there are a multitude of other games out there that exist. Even there are like some miniature based board games that are really good. Board games in general is probably one of the other best ways to kind of hit that middle ground where maybe you don't want to jump towards a video game like me. Like I pretty much avoid video games massively now because I know they're a huge rabbit hole trap for me, where I will just forget every other aspect of my life and just get sucked into it. Right? So, being aware of that situation, kind of like you are with Elden Ring, with Dark Souls games, right? You refuse to buy Elden Ring because you know what's going to happen.
See you all later. Right. Oh, can you come to a podcast? No. Flat no.
So I've said this before, and Destiny was that for me, right? So I know I got the new thing, and it was bad, man. I was literally just went straight back to playing like 8 hours a day, and I was just like, God damn it. So now I it's fine. Like I know now that I just can't. If I do playing, I have to be playing with friends, and it has to be a game that I can pick up and put down. I know it's something that I can get too engrossed in, right? So you work within the bounds that we have, and board games are really good because you can get sucked into board games. But I find that personally a lot of the good ones like Settlers or Betrayal in House on Hill or Pandemic, they're like really good games that are played with other people. So you're kind of still getting that social element that you kind of get from tabletop. You're getting the kind of tactical thinking because you're either problem solving or you're doing whatever. Settlers is probably one of the easiest to understand in terms of, because these games get really complicated, like sometimes much more complicated than 40k in a sense because of how many other rules and other components do they have, and there's no initial understanding mechanic. And what I mean by that is that, like, if you hand a first-person shooter to someone, any type of any denomination in the entire of history that's grown up with some base level of video games will understand how to play that.
Yeah, like if you were...
They'll know that the left joystick moves the character. They'll know that the right joystick moves their aim. But and then same thing with like 40k, like you have soldiers. It's about killing, or it's about that's the kind of premise, right? But in a board game, sometimes none of that is standardized. Yeah. So you might not have any idea what the principle is. Anyway, I know we're tangenting off in board games, but those kinds of things can give you those
reinvigoration.
Flick those urges, or whatever. Like can tick those boxes for you. I was never a big proponent of board games until I studied game design, and then I was like, board games are legit awesome, and legit hard, and legit cool.
Yeah.
As long as you're not playing like fucking Monopoly and shit, like actual board games.
Monopoly's just a house ruiner.
Monopoly's just a game of luck, right?
Yeah.
Like ultimately, it's like, I'm really good at Monopoly. It's like, are you really? You're really good.
Well,
you're really good at rolling those good.
Hang on, because you could argue the same thing about 40k. Just roll sixes. Just roll better.
Mm-hmm.
Like the same premise is for Monopoly. Just roll better and you win.
So yes and no, right? The difference is you can have fallbacks in Monopoly. All you need to know, if you buy the first 4 train stations first, you fucking auto win. Pretty much. Then you can just pick up whatever you have to at the end of it. You will get so much money from the train station thing. It snipes people. People don't even realize.
I've always been a fan of the train stations because when other people land on them, the essays roll them for all their money.
Roll them and stab them. Got your neck, motherfucker. So look, it happens. I think is a good point to come back to. Like, getting over it happens, and I think we're going to see a lot more. I think you're going to see people getting over it a lot more because of the things you said earlier, right? Like, the release schedules are crazy fast. The models are coming out crazy fast. The updates to the game that you could argue are good, but also are just done that it's difficult.
Yeah,
it's not too hard. It's just difficult. But with that being said, Winter's SEO does a really good video on kind of this topic. We'll link it down in the description of this if you're still listening. And basically outlines like, Nephilim exists, fucking Nachmund or whatever exists, Crusaders. You don't have to play one way. Yeah. If you play Nephilim and you're like, this fucking sucks,
don't play it.
Don't play it. Don't play it. Like, straight up. Like, no one's putting a gun to your head saying play it. Have a discussion with your buddies or your group or whatever and be like... I mean, I think even at our club day on Sunday, there were people that were playing Nachmund.
You know what I have wanted to play since the very first time I ever rolled into a club day, and we've never got around to doing it, but I've wanted to do the Cities of Death rules. So, like, where the table has, like... interaction things that happen each turn and stuff, like that word I can't say where the buildings catch on fire.
Conflagration.
That one. There's a mission called that, and like buildings catch on fire and stuff, and like not
more of an active war zone.
Active war zone. I've always wanted to do those missions, even if it was in Nephilim. Like all the objectives and stuff were the same, but just reintroduce those active battlefields, like night fighting. So
Yeah.
And because
again, a lot of the stuff you're saying is heresy. They have all that shit. But yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
But we can just write that. Let's just do it. We'll just get the rules, and that's the other thing you can do, right? You can take third edition, whatever it's called, City Fight, right? Is it called City Fight?
Yeah.
What do you call
City
it?
Fight.
Is it City Fight? City Fight. Third edition City Fight rules, and just bang, plonk them onto 9th edition. You know, Nuckman
Yeah, because
or
they were
Nephilim.
just
like,
terrain interactions and stuff, like or just things.
It's like Apocalypse as well. You see that happen all the time. Like, I've wanted to play more kind of similar to what you're saying, but things like, okay, well, we have a war zone where it's actually like a war zone where there's bunkers with guns and stuff like that, and like you can, embark in the weapon. Like you could embark in a transport, and that whole squad is now sitting inside that bunker, and they get a data sheet, and this is the data sheet, and this is what it is, and it's like, stuff like that. Like, I think that active Warzone stuff is cool. Is really cool, and it can liven up. And the thing about it is, like, it's always been marketed as a play your own way game. And back in the day, they really used to push heavily on that with their marketing. And this is Games Workshop I'm talking about now. And then they really moved away from that with 8th edition. So I'm told anyway, from everything I've gone back and seen as well. Definitely in 9th. They're like, no, fucking you have to do it this way. Doesn't change the fact that it's like...
your mini's your way, right?
Yeah, you do what you want.
Yeah, I think that's something that I'm probably more excited for at the moment. I definitely feel that.
Play your way sort of thing, right?
Playing, and doing that in things like... kill team and stuff is probably heaps easier too in my head, because like whole terrain features for like a whole 60 by 40 or whatever it is, 60 by 44 or whatever. 30
by 22.
No. For like if you're playing 2,000 points and then you've got like 20 bits of terrain and they all have like all.
But yeah, they're all different stats and rules. It does get bookkeeping heavy. Yeah.
And but like doing that in kill team where you've got like this little mat and 3 buildings and a couple of shrubs that eat you or whatever. That's the sort of thing I feel super excited for at the moment.
Yeah. Well, things are changing on the channel too. Streaming is on the way, everyone. As you might have heard previously. So we're moving as fastly towards having our normal bat rep content combined with streaming content, combined with auxiliary content. And what I mean by auxiliary content is things like Infinity, Kill Team, Hammer and Bolter, these other kind of custom narrative games, like really pushing back into that. Always alongside. There's nothing's ever taking over anything, and the normal scheduled business as usual is staying as is. And over the coming months, there will be some significant changes to a few things, and we'll be letting you guys know about how that's going to pan out. But it's going to be more content, more diverse content, and better content for all of you guys. So that's all happening. It's all happening. Especially Infinity. Infinity is our first. It's going to be our first auxiliary, non-Games Workshop product that we do, and we want to do it right.
Yeah. So any Infinity.
What is your faction, by the way?
The O12.
It's Aleph, right? Aleph.
Okay.
Oh, you're the cops. What we have it exists the
I don't know.
What's our global governing body? God damn it.
Illuminati.
UN. You're the UN. You're the UN. Oh, dude, you picked the lamest faction.
Because it was $50 on Marketplace for like $200 worth of models.
Yeah, fair enough. They are so lame. We hate you so much.
That's good.
Because I'm oh shit, what's mine? Nomads. I'm Nomads.
Yeah, because you're like sand people. Meh.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's Hack Islam. That's Hack Islam. So no, we're Nomads. We're like we're kind of like Eldar in a way.
How did you chose Eldar?
Yeah, I know. We're literally we're the space anarchists.
Oh yeah.
We're like against the establishment, and we're all about like hacking systems. And we have our three hive ships.
Oh, you got 3 ships. peasant.
Yeah, but they're like planet-sized ships.
Peasants.
We're so cool.
Peasants.
We're so cool. We're literally like we're every bit of cyberpunk, pop cultural literature. That's exactly what nomads are. It's awesome. And then what's Dalton? Dalton's he's the Chinese guys. What are they?
I want to say Wuhan, but that's not it.
Yeah, but that's a city. But they're the what's the organization called? Anyway, they're the China.
China #1.
It's really cool, and
they're sort of
I
like alien-y mechanized type thingos. Are they?
No, they're not aliens. So the only aliens are the alien race, which is like the bad guy, like the big bad.
Okay.
And they're I can't remember what they're called either.
But they look cool.
They are cool. They are super cool. The other weird, which is the other one that I'm surprised that none of us gravitated towards, because when you ever hear like a combined army is the aliens. When you hear of any kind of story about it's like aliens landing or something, it's always like America, right? Or it's like America or it's UK, right?
You sound like you're
The
from
thing
London.
that's the sick thing about the I guess the quote unquote good guys, or like the main powerhouse, is Pan Oceania, and they're Aussies. It's Australia. It's the Anzacs. Australia, New Zealand, and like Papua New Guinea, and a bunch of the Southeast Asian countries come together and create their own superpower. And India. I love that. I'm like, that is so great.
I mean, I'm not like I said earlier. My decision on faction was purely based on financial opportunity.
Yeah, fun. Yeah,
because I was scrolling through Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, that's a lot of models for $50. And then I sort of jumped on Google, and I was like, yeah, that's a lot of models for $50. We'll grab that.
So the cool thing about Aleph, right, and the reason why I said Aleph are really cool, but they're also not. So they're like the AI system that runs the kind of intergalactic economy and everything. That's kind of connected to the O2, which is you guys, and yeah, and they're like, there's just like an entire AI race, which is pretty cool. Like legit AI, which is pretty sick.
That is cool.
Anyway, it's not we're not going to just spend another hour talking about Infinity, because we could, because it is cool, and there's a lot of lore and really cool stuff that the game actually has to offer. That's a bit more grounded in reality.
Yep. Feels less
loosely. There's no warp, put it that way.
Yeah. It's no alternate dimension hate fuck.
Yeah. But yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you want to tell us what accents or demon... I know, but let us know what accents you think prescribes to each demon prince, or greater demon,
God,
or demon or god, or even lesser demons. Like, do they differ within themselves?
You know what horrors are? Have you seen that kids show Rabbids Invasion?
Ooh, are they like two rabbits?
No, it's a bunch of rabbits, and they just make obnoxious noises. That's what horrors are, 100%.
Oh yeah.
And then just like bah, 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 and they just
Nah. A horror is literally like a 6-year-old kid that's like, I know you are, but what am I? No. Like super annoying, 100% right?
100% the rabbits from Rabbit Invasion.
Alright, I'm going to have to look that up, and then we'll have to do it. And then, also, let us know.
They're the imps from Diablo 1. The ones that run away and come back, and they've like, when you kill one and they run away, and then they come back with more. Because that's what horrors do.
Well,
and then it's like...
well, Diablo probably... Well, it would make sense. Blizzard, StarCraft, Diablo... They probably were designed at the same time.
You look at Diablo, and it very much has that blood letterhead.
Yeah, Khorne, for sure.
Yeah,
Khorne, yeah. I mean, look, you could argue it's the goat head and da-da-da-da.
Same, but not same.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. But also, let us know what demon you'd like to wake up to. Whoa.
Yeah. How many tentacles you want
thanks.
to have.
Yes. Thanks for listening,
guys.
everybody. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.